Hey everyone, I'm back with a new art challenge. So this is a draw in your style challenge. Here's the original artwork by Artist's Critique. I'll leave a link to their Instagram account in the description. So let's get started. Yeah, I didn't record the initial sketch for this one. I was kind of just messing around drawing, seeing what I could come up with. And of all times, it just turned out really good the first try, which almost never happens, but there you go. I did want to start making videos again, so I kind of wanted to just post it anyway. I'm a really messy sketcher, and I take a lot of time to get the line work just how I want it. As you can probably see, it takes me a bit, and there I'm flipping it pretty early because I do have a problem making it kind of skewed. A lot of my drawings end up tilted because I kind of draw on my Cintiq at an angle for some reason. It's not right in front of me because I have the main monitor in front of me, and then the Cintiq's off to the side that I draw on. It's probably not good for my back now that I think about it, but oh well, drawing's worth it. So the hands, of course, is always the struggle. Usually when I sketch, I just kind of sketch in the rough shape of the hand and then worry about like the fingers later, because I know how I want them to be. So why draw them twice, I guess. I'm not much of the kind of artist to draw like a rough sketch and then another sketch and then a more finished sketch and then the finished piece on top. It's just too much drawing for me. I like kind of just going off the initial idea and then, cleaning it up, adding some more details. Sometimes I add on details that I didn't put in the sketch, but I think this one, since I'm going off of a reference or like a previous artist drawing, kind of doing it in my style, as the challenge says, all the details are pretty much there. I did forget to actually draw the top of her dress, like the little frilly part, the see-through part. I was going to add it in later after I'd finished the drawing, but I thought it looked good without it. It's fine. Hands are a really hard thing to draw, but like sometimes I spend hours and hours trying to get the hand to look right, and sometimes it doesn't take very long. I don't know. I guess I was just in a really good drawing place when I was doing this because things were just turning out really well. So I was pretty happy with that. The drawing muse has struck me. But yeah, I actually really liked the theme for this one. I saw this one and it was just like the kind of magic girl sweets fairy theme thing. I don't know, but it just kind of hit everything that I like the bright colors, the sweets, and it gave me a chance to do a fun pose, which I really need to practice on my posing quite a bit. Frills are always fun to do. It took me a long time to learn how to do them correctly. I don't even know if I'm probably still not doing them exactly correctly, but they're really fun to do. So fabric was one of the hardest things for me to learn when I was starting out. It's just like how folds look and how they're supposed to look and how like fabric drapes and falls was really tricky for me to figure out, actually. So I think I've actually come a long way. I can get pretty good. I've gotten compliments on how the outfits look now, so I must be doing something right. I did add the little bows to her shoes, and they weren't in the original design, but I feel like they needed something else. And I kind of liked the ribbon look. I do end up changing the hair later on. I kind of made these swirly things, and for some reason hair was the only thing that gave me a whole lot of trouble. Like, I'm not used to drawing hair like this, really the wavy, swirly hair. I usually do short hair because I think it looks cuter. I don't know. it's what I do more. But yeah, I do end up changing her hair later. You can see me actually picking out different colors to try and get an idea of like where the shadows would fall. Like it was really confusing to try and figure out the curl for me for some reason. It doesn't come naturally, I guess. I was trying to place like the shadows and see where it would be with the different colors, but yeah, I do end up changing it later to kind of I look up some reference photos and I end up going with something more that looks like frosting or you know, like swirly ice cream, which I think goes with the sweets theme a little better anyway. So I do that later. Here I'm working on the little staff thing. There's a reference photo I picked up. Yeah, and there's her hair. Her hair's changed. But I think it looks a lot better now. It looks more like hair. So I was using the donuts as a color reference to try and get like the white frosting, because it's a bit of an off-white, and then the different sprinkles. And yes, she's very pink. A lot of pink. The leotard was really fun to do. The original had kind of like a donut leotard, which honestly I thought looked a little weird when I first saw it because of all the detail on it. So I decided to go with a sprinkle theme instead to match like the top of the donuts and everything. And I think it looks a little more uniform. And then the pink, I am just going all over the place here trying to figure out the colors. The pink of the stockings bothered me a little bit. It just didn't seem like the right kind of pink. So I do end up messing with that a bit later on. And I did make the staff on a different layer, the colors, because I wasn't sure about those. And I actually end up losing the color layer when I'm messing with the stockings. I don't know how that happened. It got... I don't know. I just make more work for myself. I'm a little disorganized when it comes to my Photoshop files. So I did want to add like stripes to be more like a candy stripe thing. And here I'm just filling in like a blank color so that I can add a gradient on later. Just, yeah, there we go. Nice color gradient. Of course, the like over bright rainbow. And there's the sprinkles. Sprinkles are kind of relaxing to do. You just sit there and you just dab on some sprinkles, and trying to place them so they look random is really difficult, but it was kind of relaxing. And you can see that the color on the staff is gone. Thank you, Photoshop layers. It's my own fault. I was not paying attention, but I get it back later, so it's fine. I'm also putting sprinkles on the donuts there. The staff actually was different than the original too, but I kind of wanted to do the big donut thing. And for the shadows, I usually use a red or a pink. It makes the skin look more alive instead of using like a black or dark. Which is something I actually learned fairly late into my time as an artist. But better late than never, I suppose. I did end up using a darker color for her top, because the red just wasn't showing very well. But I actually like the see-throughness. I think I got that down pretty well. I'm actually really proud of this drawing. It turned out really good. I'm just cleaning up some of the lines a bit, because as we know, I am very messy with my line work. And I think I'm getting quieter and quieter as this video is going on, so sorry about that. And trying to shade the hair was like a whole ordeal. I ended up just shading the whole thing and kind of carving out the light areas, because that was just a bit easier for me to visualize. And in the original, there's kind of like this yellow glow coming from the staff. So I was trying to think about the light source coming from that direction. And I ended up putting like kind of a yellow glow around it, but it seemed like a little much, so I ended up taking it back down a bit later. So they're trying to get the shadows to match kind of the flow of the hair. Not sure how well I did. Like I said, this kind of hairstyle is kind of difficult for me to do, but I tried my best. And here I'm just going through and softening some of the shadows. I usually do like a hard shadow, I think cell shading, but I like to kind of combine the soft shading with the cell shading. I think it just makes it look a bit nicer. And there you can see my messy layers peeking out. I should probably try and hide that. Does that look very professional? I don't know. I haven't done these a lot. So there I am trying to add on the yellow glow and kind of an underglow and a reflection, which I actually really like doing. I learned about that from another art channel who was like, they were showing you how to do like lighting effects, and I mean, I learned that in college too, but seeing it applied to like actual character design just made it seem a whole lot more interesting, because I'm not that big a fan of just drawing all the shapes over and over again with cast lighting. And I mean, the basics are important, but I think just seeing it applied to kind of how I wanted to use it just made a little more sense in as far as learning. So I'm just adding on the finishing details right now. I added the shine in her eyes, which made little stars. I just thought that would be cute. Magic Girl. You can't have Magic Girl without stars everywhere. Stars and sprinkles. So here I was trying to figure out kind of how I want to do the lighting for the staff. And I tried a few different things. Oh no, here I am going to the hair highlights. Never mind. Okay, so this is the fun part. When I want to change the outline, I used to just use a color effect to just change the entire outline to one color. But I found that masking off a bunch of color onto the layer allowed me to stack effects onto it. Because if you just use the effect, and that's the only effect you can have, at least in this version of Photoshop, I'm using Creative Suite 4, the fourth one, whatever. But see how I wanted to make the donuts and different parts of her outfit a different shade, which you can't do if all of it is confined to the one style of line art. So I tried making a black background like the one in the original artwork, but it just didn't suit her character at all. So I decided to try like a rainbow. I tried a few different ones. The rainbow ended up looking kind of busy, especially with all the sprinkles and color already going on. So I tried to add a white outline to kind of separate it from the background, and I do end up keeping the white outline, but I change the background in the end. So here I am going back to the lighting for the staff. I thought maybe if I could make like a ring around it, make it kind of bright. Kind of looks like a light bulb now that I'm looking at it. Kind of glad I didn't keep it. It just wasn't working for me. The yellow was just kind of putting it off somehow. I don't know. There's the final piece, and it is done. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments how I did. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to. It really helps me out. I'll see you in the next video.